The deepest, most fulfilling moments of my healing and my life have come through the merging with spirit, the connection to and surrounding myself with angels, ascended masters, spiritual guides, and even spirit animals. Ever since I was little, I have been in contact with and been able to see, hear, feel, know, sense spirit. When I was little, my spirit guides and angels would sing to me when bad things were happening. They would sing in light language. Now, as an adult, as I've journeyed through a lot of healing and I've journeyed through coming home to my body and trying to feel safe in my body after childhood trauma, yes, therapy did help, but the number one thing that brought me back to the essence of who I am and the remembrance of what we each are, which is the light, the soul inside, that made me a full embodied person and woman now, was spirit, my relationship to spirit. I was given psychic gifts so that I could learn how to put myself back together after trauma, so that I could learn how to share with each of you the magic and the wonder and the absolute birthright it is of yours to remember who you truly are through the pathway of spirit that's already available and found within you now. When I was trying to heal myself from really severe trauma and PTSD and dissociation, I did not know how to do it. I was in so much suffering, and there were many times when it felt like a lot of my normal techniques and therapy and things were not helping and were not working. So I was essentially forced to go within, invited to surrender into something greater, something beyond. And it looked like an act of giving up, and it was an act of giving up. But in giving up, I found that there was an inner voice within me, the higher self, the soul, the light inside, that I now truly listened to. And it actually took me on an incredible journey, and a long journey, to weave my soul essences that had been fractured from my being and not made me a whole person, to weave them back into my body. The fact that I'm sitting here now and that I'm a person who has something called confidence, who has healthy relationships, who has a happy life and a safe life, a person who feels joy, celebration, liberation, all of that came from the willingness to do what my spirit asked, to merge with God force within. Now, when I talk about this, you might be like, what does that mean? What do you mean? How do you do that? It really is the practice of, firstly, sitting down and finding a point within you of stillness, harmony. You don't have to be Buddha, but still enough. And then connecting to the light within through intention. The first thing is intention, and the first thing is opening and connecting to the heart. Your heart is the seat of your higher self or your soul energy, your soul wisdom and consciousness. So we always start with the heart first. And that's what spirit guided me to do. They said, come sit down. Yes, I could hear them, but I also had to train myself to still my mind enough to really purify and refine that. Because whilst I heard them, I also spent a big part of my life being in survival mode and focusing on my mind and ignoring my intuition, even though it was very loud. And even though I'm a psychic person, you're still human and you have your triggered responses. And the giving up was finally listening to that voice. So yes, I had these clairs going that would tell me, sit down, breathe, put your hands on your heart, look to the left, You know, it could be anything. I had the being Paramahasana Yogananda come to me and speak to me first about the heart energy and about the power of love. He taught me about that, and he taught me how to, one of the first things I was taught was how to feel my life force energy, how to feel, and actually also feel when I was in the way of it, because that's a lot of it. So step one is we connect to the heart and the soul through that, and that starts to cultivate connection, relationship with the soul. Step two of that is extending that capacity and ability into, can I let that higher self energy or life force energy, can I let it flow where it wants to flow and stop being in the way of it? We're all probably doing it right now. We don't have a conscious awareness of this, but you can develop the skill of being able to sense, know, or feel when you're kind of blocking your life force. So let me play with it for you for a minute. So I have to find a place of settling back and letting life happen, letting life just be, letting this moment just be. When you let that moment just be, which usually looks like thoughts settling down and a conscious decision to like, okay, you decide, then things move. And for me, it started to make my body move in different ways, and I ended up getting these really powerful like mudras and stuff would just happen and come out. But however subtle or big the response is, this is that energy moving through you and creating healing. So I can't share all of it with you in a 10-minute video, but this pathway of remembering spirit is why I came to this world. It is my joy to share it with you. So I invite you to join the Ascension Club, which is a private membership community where we are training these sorts of skills every month through live classes. There's also a training library full of like past classes and courses and stuff that you can learn. We do channeling, magic, also feminine empowerment and feminine magic, but not limited to that. And we also do alchemy or ascension work, which is this working with the life force and learning how to like move your emotional blocks out of your body and actually being free. And as I said, in my journey, creating the space for the essence and life that you actually are to come back into fruition. Because it's not that anything has like gone away. It's not that you have you are this like sad or depressed or stuck person. It's that there are some certain debris and old traumas and conditioning and injuries to the chakras and the pathways as a result of that are just blocking that life force energy. And as soon as you can go in and you can let those things release, which is a technique in itself that I would call emotional alchemy, you actually find that you are that empowered version. You've always been this free, not stuck version, this joyful, not depressed version of yourself. It's just that there's been this stuff kind of sitting on top of it or in the way of it. And that's been the miracle of my life. That's why I believe in miracles, because to me, from where I was at to where I am now, is just a world of difference. And I witnessed many miracles on my journey, including simply the miracle of becoming a whole person at 33 and being able to speak to you today. So have a beautiful day. Check out the Ascension Club at becksahasrara.com. It's under store, I think. Or you can send me a message on Instagram, which is at the Beck Sahasrara.